division. So look, we have to know that, and knowing that makes us work extra hard, makes us work to the point where we know what we're doing is what we're going to bring into the ring the day of the fight.
Is there an aspect of his game that he probably does better than other welterweights?
Look, he's watching his fights and just like watching Mike's fights, when a trainer sits down to work on an opponent, it's different. All the boxing fans, the media, the promoter, they see a fighter, and not just Errol Spence case. Any other, but they see a superstar knocking people out, winning, looking good. But me as a trainer, when I sit down to study my opponents, I'm looking for things that I got to do to be able to beat them. And Errol, he's talented, but there's things that we're doing that are gonna make a difference when they fight. We know that it won't, it's not gonna be easy. Errol's kind of similar to Mikey, pretty basic, good, solid jabs, 1-2s. He goes to the body beautiful. That's something I've always liked about him. He digs into the body. So those are things that are basic. He's not flashy. He doesn't have spectacular footwork like other fighters do. He's basic, but he does everything right, and he is very strong.
Mike, Robert, so March 15th, the day before the fight, you have Garcia Promotions, but you're going to have about 5 fighters fighting that fight. So yeah. I was looking at some of the interviews that I've had with and said back, I usually do this the day before your fight. So just what's the motivation behind it? And y'all have about 5 fighters here in the area that are going to be fighting.
We have different fighters in our gym, that are fighting for me, and now Mikey part of the team helping them out. We have a lot that are not under a top rank golden boy or anything like that, so we need to get them fights. We need to keep them busy. Doing something the night before, it's not easy. It's not easy because obviously we got to focus on the big fight, Mikey's fight, and don't want to have any distractions. But we have a great team that's putting this together. We have 5 on Mikey's undercard, 5 of our guys on Mikey's undercard, and then we have another 5 or 6 fighting the night before, because we just have too many fighters, and we got to keep them all busy. We got to give them fights. But I have a great team. Myself, I wouldn't be able to do it. I can't do it myself. I would just be here just for Mikey, and I wouldn't have nobody on the undercard. But I have my 2 sons, Pita, Payo, Chepe. We have our conditioning coaches that are always helping. We have the cooks. We have the fathers. Because every one of my fighters, every one of my young fighters that I have their fathers part of the team, and they all help out. So like I'm telling you, it's not something I would be able to pull off by myself. We have a great team.
And you've been doing that for a long time too. So you've been doing it since you were in Oxnard, and now you're doing it in Riverside. You've always had a good team around.
Look, we've always had a good team, man. Right now I think in Oxnard, my sons were not working with us yet because they were still in school. They were too young. Pita's only 23. Payo's just turned 21. So they were too young. Now, they're old enough to be responsible. I could send them to fights. I could send them there, and I don't have to go. They could do a fight by themselves. Now, the team that I have now is a team that probably will never change. We might add other coaches in, but with my boys and with Chepe, who's pretty much part of the family.